Well, when we first met Rob Mills, look, more than 2 decades ago, can you believe it? He blew us away on Australian Idol before taking over the charts with pop hits.
So much more than just a singer. In fact, he now boasts one of the best stage CVs in the country, having starred in productions of Waitress, Hairspray, as well as And Juliet, to name just a few.
To an iconic Australian album, a celebration of Don Spencer's feathers, fur and fins, and we've got a sneak peek of it for you now. This is Bob The Kelpie.
Sheep are cute, sheep are beaut, sheep are soft and curly. But when I take them into town, I have to start off early, 'cause they never go the way I want, so I need someone to help me. I just give a whistle and I call for Bob The Kelpie. Go on, boy!
Of course you love it. It's called Feathers, Furs and Fins.
Bob The Kelpie.
It's got you written all over it.
I have a Kelpie, Buzz the Kelpie, or part Kelpie, who hassles Millsy regularly, so it's just perfect.
Yeah, you guys sort of bump into each other,
We
don't
do.
you? But quite often. Hello, Rob Mills.
Hi guys, how are you?
That's so
Hello,
cute. Can we talk about the project? How did it come about?
So 40 years since Don released this album, and we all know the importance of music, and Don has been at the forefront of music in schools is so super important with the Australian Children's Music Foundation. It's 25 years next year for ACMF, which is just incredible. But this album 40 years ago, and a bunch of Aussie artists have lent their voices to reimagining the songs. So Rachael Beck, The Wiggles, Memma, just to name a few, myself. This song was not actually on that album, so I begged actually Don if I could be a part of it. He's like, "Oh, what about Bob The Kelpie?" I love Bob The Kelpie. I'll do it. So I'm like a bonus track.
Like Bluey Who?
Yeah.
Right.
But Don's these songs they're timeless, and these songs are music education, but also there's a bunch of information in there about Aussie things.
Yeah,
That's it. There's such iconic Australian stories and songs, which is amazing. So many artists have jumped onto the album. Did you get any say into what song you get to record? Was it just you pushing for Bob the whole way?
It was me basically pushing just for anything, just to be a part of it. And he's like, "Look, we've done all the songs, but what about Bob The Kelpie?" I was like, "Oh, I love Bob The Kelpie." So yeah, and these songs I listened to when I was a kid, and I mean, whenever I'm out with Don having a coffee or whatever, people stop and say, "Don, these songs were my childhood. I grew up with these songs." So hopefully, this next generation of kids will now be listening to these songs as well.
Can you imagine your life without music? Your life doesn't exist without music.
No.
It's part of your fabric, right? And is that something that started when you were young? Can you relate to Don wanting to expose kids to music for a specific reason? Because it's part of your DNA, right?
100%. Yeah. And as someone who, I'm on the board now of ACMF, so I go out to schools where we have these teachers and music programs, and I see the difference that it makes. So yeah, for me, definitely, I can't imagine my world without music. Music is the thing that bonds us together. It helps us feel the things we didn't know we needed to feel.
We should have put that in the intro. We've got, Rob Mills, singer, actor, dancer, board member.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
ambassador and board member.
And see, the glasses should have given that away.
Yeah.
I should have picked up on
It's just old age. It's just definitely old age.
Rob, Don, he's such an icon in Australia. A lot of people would know him from Play School or his music or in education. Did you get much time to spend with him?
Yeah. Every time I'm in Sydney, I hang out with Don. I have coffee with him regularly. He's got so many great stories just of his life. The amount of adventures he's been on, whether it's motorcycling across Europe or the amount of gigs that he's done, the amount of people that he's played with, the artists that he's played with, it's incredible. His life story is amazing, but the fact that all he wants to do is keep giving back is super inspiring. He's he's my honorary granddad, so he doesn't know this, but I love him so much.
Hey, in the intro, we saw you singing that Miss Vanity song. You've got a bit of an announcement. And it's kind of
an exclusive.
For the morning show, which we love. Tell us about what your announcement is, and it kind of plays into that single that we just showed.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe trying to put this song into the show. So in a few weeks' time, I'm actually hosting the Australian Miss Universe pageant. Which I can't. Thank you. I know. Big round of applause. Big round of applause. Thank you. Alongside Maria Thattil, she's former Miss Australia.
Miss Universe
Australia. Thank you. And
you'll get that right on the night.
I know. It's a few weeks out. I'm actually quite nervous because these beautiful women, they know all about this world. I know nothing about it. I think my role as the host or co-host on the night is to be the inquisitive kind of audience member as well, to find out more about how it all works. I was lucky enough to meet some of the finalists yesterday, and not only are they beautiful, lovely human beings, but they're super smart and savvy. Their charity work that they do, one's a radiographer, one's a aspiring soccer player. We've got AFLW player. We've got
it's fabulous.
Adventurers. They're like I was thinking about,
they're
like
accomplished women.
Exactly. When I was 22, all I'd done is Miss Vanity. You know, I hadn't really done. These women are super accomplished. There's Maria there.
Might need to change Miss Vanity to Miss Doctorate in Philosophy. I think might be more appropriate lyrics.
Yeah, exactly.
We also mentioned your work in theatre, obviously. So many shows, so many. Seriously, Millsy. How much work goes into the auditioning process and landing those roles? Is it?
I just get the role these days. No, I'm joking. I'm absolutely joking.
I mean, you joke, but you front so many musicals now.
For the record, I audition for every single show. I walk in and nervous with my script, or the script that I've learnt and prepared for every single show, and it's nerve-wracking. You have producers from either the UK or the US, and you are putting yourself out there, trying to do your version of the thing. There's a lot of preparation goes into it, and then to find out, I want to talk about a couple of the shows that have been cancelled recently. Like, there's kids that have been in Back to the Future, now in Waitress or Beetlejuice, that they put all this work in, this prep, and then they get the role, and they think, oh my God, I've got a job for the next year or two. Yeah. And then the show is cancelled. It's heartbreaking.
So what is the vibe in the industry here in Australia at the moment, Rob?
Look, I wrote an article about this the other day in The Australian. I talked about the cost of not living. And we have to decide where our discretionary spending goes. The prices are going up for our groceries, for our power bills and whatnot, the things that we need to spend money on. But the discretionary spending, how do we spend our money, and what is our culture like? Do we want to go see more concerts? Well, concert prices are so much. A ticket for a musical is now so high. How do we make sure that it's affordable for people to go and see it? Because I think it's super important we get so much information or so much of our dopamine hit from our phones or these little black mirrors that I think we're sharing memes and we're not sharing moments. I think the sharing moments with other people is far more important and long lasting. We're getting these fast dopamine hits and we're not getting our that long lasting gratification, long form gratification.
We're sharing memes, not moments. I love that.
And really, the ticket to a great show is probably the same as a round of drinks.
Exactly.
You're going to get so much more enjoyment, and it's going to stay with you.
Do I need that new hoodie, or do I need that new pair of shoes, or am I better to go to the theatre or take in a concert? It doesn't have to be a musical. I understand, but it's super important. I mean, the flow-on effect of even people going to see a show, the economy around like the bars, the restaurants, everyone. We're a better economy. We're a better society when we go out.
Absolutely.
Really great catch up. Congratulations on the new Miss Universe Australia hosting gig.
It'll be live on Channel 7 and then on 7 maybe a couple of hours later, I think, as well.
No pressure.
I know.
But just make sure you get the announcement right at the end. It has gone wrong in the past.
Universe Australia, and the winner is.
The winner is.
Wear those glasses when you're reading that announcement.
It has gone wrong in the past. Good to catch up with you, Neil.
Thank you,
as always.
And the 40th anniversary album of Feathers, Fur or Fins will be released on August 21.
And you can catch Rob Mills hosting the Miss Universe Australia pageant on Wednesday, 26th of August, right here on 7 and 7 Plus.